another challenge and another thing that we're losing, that we don't even know that we're losing, because the internet streaming situation hasn't become fully popularized yet. Just to give you perspective, there's one car on the market that has internet, right? So you can put the Netflix on for your kids or whatever, right? As that becomes more and more popular, people are going to start becoming normalized to streaming content in their cars. And it's pretty much where you consume radio a lot of the times. And we're gonna lose that because before we even know it, because the copyright recording artists, people, I'm talking about they. You know how they say they? They're coming for us. Yeah. They're coming for internet radio before we even really get started. So just to give you some perspective, I wanna say Bob Fashion monetize all his works, but they are going to come for him. They who is in charge of Bob Dylan's music. They who's in charge of Joni Mitchell's voice. They, all these days, because, so I just, a little tidbit, we run, currently, as of today, we run on Live 365. Live 365 is a streaming portal that sends out different internet streams, internet radio streams. Thousands, not hundreds, thousands upon thousands of internet radio stations that are run by people like me and you. At a loss, because we're not making money. Let's be real, we're not. But we're trying, and we're trying to give you good content. And the thing is that the recording artists, people, whoever they are, increase the rates for small webcasters and broadcasters. So now, instead of having one umbrella deal, which is what they had before, they took away from Live 365 the opportunities for small broadcasters to pay $50 a month. And now ASCAP, CSAC, BMI, all those people want $500 a year, $500 a year, $500 a year, $500 a year. I don't have $500 a year, $500 a year, $500 a year. So thousands of internet broadcasters are being shut down. So I like to talk about monetization like it's a magical, amazing, angelic thing that's gonna just happen for Bob and for the rest of us, but it might not, and they're shutting us down before it even gets started. So, you know, as long as I can make Bonfire Radio happen, I'm gonna make Bonfire Radio happen. But this is literally happening now, like literally in my inbox as of like 2 weeks ago.
And I think it's interesting too, because there are, there's commercial radio, there's listener supported radio, these other models, and I don't understand the tech. Like, I know as an artist, we have these relationships with publishing and performing rights organizations, which you're mentioning, and there's these debates about streaming versus purchasing. But I know for me as an artist, if something is non-commercial radio, I would rather have my music be played and be part of a context. If my music is being played on commercial radio, it's a different thing. So I think we're in this new territory of how do those questions get navigated? Who makes those legal decisions? What are the ethical, financial decisions?
Yeah, so here's the deal, and it applies to radio, applies to all media. Whenever this stuff comes out, whenever there's like a new form, it's free form. It's free. The people who are doing it, they're doing it, out of love. They usually have a purpose, and they're in an uncontrolled space. What's happening is the creative stuff happens in an uncontrolled space. But eventually, the big entities, most notably big business and big government, start noticing that not only is there money to be made, but there's voices to be silenced. And so they start moving in. And the way that you keep operating in this space is you have to keep moving with the forward edge of that space. You have to constantly be on the move for it. Lower East Side. Lower East Side, they're over there cleaning it out. They're doing all this stuff because it looked like the pits of hell. I live over there right now. If it wasn't for the project, the whole Lower East Side would be gentrified.
That's right.
And that's the way that it goes. Wherever the artist goes, eventually that's where the middle class is going, and then that's where the gentry is going to be going, and you have to keep moving. So the same thing applies to media. Like, on the one hand, we owe a debt to Bob for what he did, but he wasn't doing it to incur that debt. He was doing it because that was the is where he was. That was the is that needed to be, and the place that he was trying to create this new space and a new culture and a new people. And to the degree that he did or didn't, there are large forces arrayed against him. I worked at WBAI. I swear there's got to be something going on over there. It's to be understood. Bob Fast, he He was on radio, he's been on radio for more than half the lifetime of radio. 50 plus years, more than half the lifetime of radio. It's not unusual that new media are coming in and so forth. That doesn't mean that things have changed and that the voice should be silent. That just means the voice has to figure out like how to get there. It's easy to see what he did in retrospect, but at the time that, I forget his name, bought WBAI, he was able to buy that because there wasn't that much interest in radio. I mean, he had a lot of money, but that radio station at one point was valued at like something like $200 million. You know, when he bought it, I forget what he bought it for, some astronomically low amount. You know, same thing with public access. The only reason public access exists is because when I was a kid, there were 3 television channels. UHF came, you know, that bad UHF, most of you don't even know what that is.
That's how I used to get video music box on Long Island.
Right, there might have been 5 channels there, 10 channels or whatever. When cable came, 30 channels, let's give some away to the public. We don't have enough to fill this. Now you got 500 channels, you got 1,000 channels, and they're constantly trying to cut us off. They're constantly trying to figure out how to get those 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 channels back in every location because they need it. They need it to make money, right? So at the front edge of technology, there's an abundance because people don't know what the hell to do with it. And you have to do something with it. And when they come in, you fight like hell to keep it, but you keep your eye on what the next thing is.